Alright, look. Hit the like button. Hit the sub button. Hit the notification bell. You understand me? Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Join this Fisk Unit army and get Fisk Unit tough. Alright, look. I'm going to throw y'all a curveball. I'm going to throw you a curveball today. Colin Cowherd actually said something about Daniel Jones that I agree with. Y'all can head over to my Instagram, Fisk Vegas Blue, and you can see the clip for yourselves. But he said something that I agree with. He says he doesn't want to hear excuses from Daniel Jones. He doesn't want to hear it. Right? Now, granted, wait a minute. Before I begin, the context in which Colin said this shit was some bullshit. Because he just finished making excuses for 3 other quarterbacks, namely Justin Herbert, and then went to Daniel Jones and said he didn't want no excuses. So in the same breath where he's talking about Herbert, his weapons are hurt and whatever, and, the team has to stay healthy. It's not Herbert's fault, whatever. He then turned around and said this about Daniel Jones. He says Daniel Jones has one of the best left tackle in the league, one of the best running backs in the league, and the best offensive mind in the league. There's no excuses from him. He doesn't want to hear it. I actually agree. I don't like that he gives Daniel Jones no passes for the last 4 years, but wants to make a case for why Justin Herbert hasn't been a winning player. I love how Justin Herbert, they failed around him. I love how it was all Urban Meyer's fault when Trevor Lawrence was a bust his rookie season. I love how it's who's the coach who got fired at Arizona? Cliff Kingsbury. It's Cliff Kingsbury's fault that his offense doesn't translate to football. That's why Kyler Murray isn't working. But when it comes to Daniel Jones, they don't want to hear nothing. They don't want to hear nothing. So, we not going to bring up Joe Judge. We not going to bring up Joe Judge. So it's okay for Mac Jones to fail under Joe Judge. But God forbid Daniel Jones doesn't do the best under Joe Judge. Y'all see the double standard, right? Now, I had to get that part out the way. But now that part is out the way, I will give Colin credit for this. I think Daniel Jones is the second best quarterback on the planet. At worst, third behind Jalen Hurts. At the very worst, Daniel Jones is the third best quarterback in the league. At the very worst. You got Mahomes, Hurts, Danny. You can do that however you want to. There's a certain level of expectations that I do have for Daniel Jones. Now that he has the money, now that he's got his bag, now that he has a competent head coach, and now that he has Darren Waller, Jalen Hyatt, you know what I'm saying? Now that we got magnets, super glue, and all kind of honey, and all kind of duct tape, we got anything sticky, we got that bitch on Darius Slayton gloves now. So we ain't gonna worry about him dropping balls. So now that we got all those factors in, there is no excuses for Daniel Jones, right? There is no excuses. I fully expect what we had last year to be the normal. But that's where the conversation around Daniel Jones gets tricky. Because who's making excuses for him? That's the only issue I really have with Colin Cowherd saying what he says about there's no excuses for Daniel Jones. Who's making excuses for him? I had to preach for 3 years on this channel for Giants fans to give him a break. Giants fans wanted Tyrod Taylor. Giants fans wanted Mr. Coffee and Mayonnaise Will Levis. Giants fans wanted Malik Willis, for God's sakes. Lord have mercy. They hated Daniel Jones so bad a year ago, they was hoping for Malik Willis. So, Daniel Jones has never gotten a pass. He's never gotten an excuse. I'm still waiting on somebody outside of Fisk Vegas and Kyle Pizzle to give him an excuse. So I sit here and I'll say this. Daniel Jones just won a playoff game with filth at the wide receiver position. Okay? He just won a playoff game. No. You know what? No. hold on, timeout. Let me not say that. By the time the playoffs rolled around, we was all right. Isaiah Hodgins, we love you to death. All right, I can't believe I didn't get a chance to do that video about his ankle. I didn't know it was that bad. I might still do that video. I got to show Isaiah Hodgins some love. Isaiah Hodgins, I love him. Darius Slayton, he's not a bum. So by the time the playoffs rolled around, it was serviceable. It was still. I can't call them filth. They were hand-me-downs that fit. How about that? You ever got some clothes from your big brother or your older cousin or something, and they fit? They didn't smell. You know what I'm saying? Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton, and Richie James at the end of the year was like the G Unit hoodie that fit. It was the Rockaware jean outfit that fit. It was the Timbs that fit. That's really what it was. All right, that's really what they were. All right, they weren't complete trash, but the point is, Daniel Jones really just won a playoff game on the road in the year that he had the most excuses. The year Daniel Jones has the most excuses, which would have been last year, the offensive line was shaky. The wide receivers were what they were. Daniel Bellinger had the eye injury, so we didn't have a tight end. Rookie head coach, rookie offensive coordinator. The year Daniel Jones actually had the most excuses to make for himself was the year he went out and won a playoff game on the road against a 13-win team that had Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hockenson, Dalvin Cook, and Kirk Cousins on it, and Adam Thielen. It was a lot of shit over there. He went into Minnesota and he outscored one of the best offenses in the league. Now I know, Fizz, it's Minnesota, Fisk. It's Kirk Cousins, Fisk. It doesn't count, Fisk. Well, that same motherfucker, Kirk Cousins, beat Drew Brees in New Orleans in a playoff game. So I don't want to hear that bullshit about Kirk Cousins is soft. I don't want to hear that bullshit about the Vikings are soft. Because that same Kirk Cousins that Daniel Jones put foot to ass on beat Drew Brees in New Orleans in a playoff game. So y'all can miss me with the whole Kirk Cousins is soft. I don't want to hear it. The dude beat Drew Brees in a playoff game. So let's not act like Kirk Cousins is incapable of performing in the playoffs. Let's stop trying to diminish what Daniel Jones accomplished with very little around him. So on the one hand, Colin Cowherd, I agree. There is no excuses. You have a franchise quarterback with a dominant running back, a dominant tackle, and an offensive genius as a head coach. He should produce. But at the same time, y'all, where were the excuses at? Can somebody do a Google search? Can somebody scour Twitter? Can somebody go on Instagram, TikTok, whatever your source of information may be? Can you find Fizz Vegas the list of excuses that Daniel Jones had? Most of the beat reporters didn't even think he was going to get a second contract. Most of the beat reporters were mad he asked for $45 million a year. Most of the beat reporters didn't even believe the Giants were franchise tag, and they thought they'd let him chest the market. So this whole notion that Daniel Jones has had people make excuses for him is a lie. It's a lie. I don't even know how he let that come out his mouth. But with that being said, I ain't got nothing else to say on the topic. There is no excuses for Daniel Jones. But then again, he never had any. And that's what makes him great. I never hear Daniel Jones crying to the media. All I hear about Daniel Jones is he's in the gym. Joe Shane is negotiating a contract with this dude. And they asked Joe Shane if you've seen Daniel Jones. And he said, yeah, I saw him this morning. He's in the gym. He's in the facility. They had to kick him out the facility because he's there all the damn time. That's my quarterback. What's your quarterback doing? Fucking bitches, Dak Prescott. Playing Call of Duty, Kyler Murray. That's what y'all quarterbacks is doing. My quarterback in the gym. Training like Vegeta. Y'all tell me who you tell me what's what. But anyway, that's it, that's all. Subscribe to the unit if you rocking with me. My name is Fizz Vegas, and I approve this message.